everyone. Thank you for joining me on your Freedom in Food, and specifically the Cheese Workshop. So my name is Laura and I'm a food prude. And why I'm a food prude? Because I really care about what goes in my body, and I certainly care about what goes in my family's body. And so the better ingredients and the raw ingredients, the fresh ingredients that you eat, the more energy that you have, your brain works better, you can accomplish more, and you just feel a whole lot better, right? So it's really important to me. So cheese is another aspect for me to have freedom in food. Now, of course, I don't have a cow, so I do have to buy the milk. So I don't quite have like total freedom, but I know what's going into my cheese. There's no additives, there's no anti-caking things that are in the shredded cheese. And I'm purchasing raw organic milk, and I would find that that would be the best milk choice if that's available to you. And we're going to talk about milk choices in a little bit. So that's what I work with, is raw organic milk. So I hope that you printed out your Freedom in Food Cheese Workshop series. I hope you printed out that PDF that you have. If not, see the link below so you can get that going. And then I put mine in a binder. So first we're going to talk about some of the utensils and trying to figure out where to put this. Some of the stuff that you will need to go cheese making. So what I suggest for you to do is to watch all the videos and then pick out the cheeses that you decide that you're going to start with. And then look at the stuff that you're going to need. Because a couple things, maybe you don't need everything. Or if your family just doesn't like feta cheese, then skip over the whole feta area, right? So the first thing to get ready for is to make sure that you're working with a very clean space. Some people recommend that you bleach water, or like that bleach water ratio to clean everything. I prefer to stay away from bleach, so I don't. I use a vinegar water solution and just making sure that everything is clean and sanitized before you get started. So a couple of the things that you need to get started is your buttermilk culture. So you're gonna need to purchase this first, and once you purchase one kit, you never have to purchase it again. And it comes with a couple little little envelopes inside it with the little starters, and you can just do one, and then you're gonna put this little pack in the freezer to use for a future use if you forget to save some. And we're going to talk all about that. So this is just one of those things that makes it really frugal to make your own cheeses. You only have to buy a culture once. And then another culture that I use is the Greek yogurt culture. Again, this is, you just buy it one time. You save some of your yogurt to reculture a next batch of yogurt. Same with the buttermilk. You just save some of your buttermilk to reculture more milk into buttermilk. So you don't use this for cheese making, but I do use this for Greek yogurt that our family uses for sour cream. The buttermilk culture, though, you use that to culture a lot of your cheeses. So you're gonna wanna pick that up. You're gonna also want a cheese knife or a curd cutting knife, and I get this from the Cheese Making Supply Company, the New England Cheese Making Supply Company. It kind of reminds me also of a knife for icing. So you can maybe get away with just using your icing knife if you've got a long icing knife. This one works good because I'm working with a larger pot here that'll reach down to the bottom. These are going to cut our curds, and we're going to talk about that. You're going to also need a nice big slotted spoon. This one works really good. It grabs a lot of the curds without slipping through the holes or anything like that. You could try a different slotted spoon, like your normal typical ones that you have in your kitchen. I just find that this works out really good. It actually works out good for when I'm making homemade noodles as well. Then you're going to just need a spoon like this. This is just, I like to use stainless steel. That's the only thing that I use. And this one is without slots, so you're going to want that. You're going to also need a colander, and this is a stainless steel colander, and this has very small holes. I like the small holes for one of the recipes where I don't have to line it with a cheesecloth, but most you line with a cheesecloth. So if you already have one that has like larger slots, go ahead and skip getting something smaller, but this is the one I use because I like it for the angel hair pasta as well. And then you're going to need different kinds of muslin or butter or cheesecloth. I have a couple different kinds here that I use. I just keep going and using them over and over, and I just wash mine. And some of them I cut into smaller pieces so that it fits inside my cheese press. So you're going to need some of those. And then if you decide that you're going to save the cream or purchase cream, you're going to want to have these butter things. And these work out really good because the butter actually doesn't stick to them. So we'll go over what that is as well. A measuring cup, tablespoon and a teaspoon basically is what we use a lot of. And one of the most important things is to have a thermometer, because cheese is very temperature controlled. You have two different types of cheeses that you're gonna, or two different types of temperature. You're gonna do a high temperature, thermophilic, or you're gonna use a mesophilic, which is like an 86 degree or like a room temperature where you kind of leave it overnight. So it's really important to watch the cheese as the temperature goes up to those high temperatures. So this one's one of my favorite ones to use. It just kind of hangs in here and I can bend it over the side. And then also if you wanted to weigh out or measure your cheese after you make it, it's kind of a good way to keep track of, okay, I did 2 gallons of cheese, how much cheese, or 2 gallons of milk, how much cheese did I get? So it really helps just kind of keep track to kind of, if you did something different, did I use vinegar one time, lemon juice one time, did I use vegetable rennet, or another type of rennet, then that's, you know, you have that. Let's see, I did forget, I'll show you my rennets. I actually keep them in the fridge here. And the two types of rennets that I keep on hand is an organic vegetable rennet, and then this is my animal rennet. So vegetable rennet, animal rennet. One stronger than the other. Some recipes you can kind of use either or, but you cut down the size of this one because it's pretty strong. I tend to use this the most for my cheddar cheeses and stuff like that. So I bought a much bigger size. This was of course more expensive. You could buy a 1 ounce or a 2 ounce size to get started, and that would be totally fine. So those are kind of the things that you're going to need to get started. There is also some lapese powder and one other item that you will use if you have store-bought milk. And see, I don't use store-bought milk, so I apologize. I cannot think of the name right now. Let's see. And the calcium chloride. Yep. So that is it. You would use that if you have store-bought milk, so you would want to purchase that. And then everything that you need for the basic cheese making supplies will be on one of your pages in here. So if you look at that, then you can, when you look at that, say, what do I need to buy? What don't I need to buy? What can I get away with using something that I already have in my kitchen would be where I would start. And then that's where I would go from there. And then again, go ahead and look at some of the cheese recipes and say, like I said, hey, if you're never gonna make feta, then don't buy some of the ingredients that the feta cheese needs. So so that's the basic supplies, and then we're gonna move on to the next subject. Thank you.